Public houses and inns have been in what is now known as the United Kingdom for at least 1,000 years. Many of today's drinking holes are centuries-old constructions. Some are almost as old as me. With this in mind, it may not be such a surprise that many of these pubs are some of the most haunted establishments in the UK. Here are 6 haunted pubs you should visit. At number 6, the Spaniards Inn, Hampstead Heath. Perhaps what distinguishes the Spaniards Inn in Hampstead Heath, North London, is the claim that one of the spirits supposed to haunt the tavern is the renowned highwayman Dick Turpin. Turpin's father was previously the proprietor of the tavern, and it is reported that Turpin utilized the establishment as a hiding. Many people claim to have seen Turpin's ghost wandering from room to room on the top floors of the building, while others say they saw his horse meandering around the parking lot. Even before that, the Spaniards Inn had a fascinating and terrible history. It was established in 1585 by 2 Spanish brothers, Francesco and Juan Porrero. Everything seemed well at first, until they both fell in love with the same woman. The 2 brothers would eventually engage in a duel, which resulted in Juan's death. Francesco would bury his body in the tavern's grounds, and many people say to have seen the former owner walking the land surrounding the pub ever since. There have also been numerous accounts from employees of being probed or having their clothing pulled by an apparent invisible pair of hands. Number 5. The Grenadier, Wilton Mews. The Grenadier is not only one of the most haunted pubs in London, but in the entire United Kingdom. Although weird instances are reported throughout the year, it is thought that these paranormal events surge in September. This is because, according to local mythology, here is where a soldier died after cheating on cards. He was battered and shoved down a flight of steps inside the tavern, where he died. Both staff and customers have reported hearing footsteps from nowhere and seeing tables and chairs move on their own. Perhaps more concerning are the unusual and distressing sounds heard frequently from the cellar, even when no one is around. Even worse, rooms abruptly drop in temperature and remain ice cold for several hours at a time. Many others have also reported seeing smoke erupt out of nowhere and then disappear without explanation. Number 4. The Volunteer, Baker Street, London. The foundations of the Volunteer on Baker Street in London were previously home to the Neville family, who died when their residence burned down in 1654. After the public house was built on the ruins, people began to notice a well-dressed man wandering through the cellar of the structure. Rupert Neville, the spirit who some believe was a member of the Neville family, was a particularly successful businessman during his existence. There have been numerous tales of weird activity inside the Volunteer, including lights flickering on and off, as well as eerie, scary sounds emanating from nowhere. Whether of relevance or not, the tavern also served as a recruiting station throughout both world wars in the early 20th century, possibly adding to the building's aura of grief and despair. Number 3. The Drovers Inn, Loch Lomond, Scotland. The grounds around the Drovers Inn in Loch Lomond, Scotland, have undoubtedly seen their fair share of awful actions and incidents, which most likely contribute to the ghostly goings-on that have been recorded for years. One of these souls is that of a young girl who drowned nearby. Her body was transported to the tavern and laid in a room until her relatives arrived to claim her. Over the years, individuals who have entered the chamber have claimed seeing the young child, while others claim to have noticed the temperature drop to an icy level. Another ghost is supposed to be that of Angus, a cattle driver who was hanged from a huge tree outside the bar by competing cattle drovers. There have been numerous accounts of his spirit roaming the grounds of the bar, as well as sightings of the tragic cattle drover within the establishment. Number 2. The Ostrich in Berkshire. The Ostrich Inn in Berkshire, England, is one of the UK's oldest public houses, the fourth oldest, having opened in 1106. Multiple murders have occurred there, including several committed by the establishment's former owner in the 17th century, Mr. Jarman, who, along with his wife, murdered several wealthy guests in order to deprive them of their riches. In addition to having a history of gruesome murders, it is another public place, similar to the first on our list, where Dick Turpin was alleged to have frequented during his crime sprees. According to local folklore, Turpin shot and killed the pub's landlord after an argument before fleeing through one of the pub's windows. Many people have reported feeling a peculiar and unsettling presence within the structure, as well as being pushed or prodded by invisible hands. If you enjoy these short stories, why not consider subscribing? Number 1. My favorite, the Golden Fleece, York. Now, this is one pub I can vouch for, as I've been here many times, myself with odd encounters, once or twice too. The Golden Fleece, York's most haunted public house, dates back to 1503 and is reputed to be home to a handful of spirits. Lady Anne Peckett, the wife of former York Mayor John Peckett, is one of these ethereal manifestations. Several people have reported hearing her stroll around the building, typically at night, while others have claimed to see her walking through the halls. In addition, a cruel, grumpy old man is frequently spotted in one part of the pub, whereas a small youngster is seen in the other. One of the most intriguing ghosts is One-Eyed Jack, a manifestation spotted roaming around the public house with an old-fashioned revolver. Finally, sightings of odd people and terrifying noises are regular at the Golden Fleece, and its reputation is well deserved. I stayed in the Golden Fleece some years back and watched a glass shoot off a small bedside table onto the carpet. I've also heard what I can only describe as children running around in the function room whilst I was downstairs. The function room wasn't being used that night, and upon further investigation was found to be empty. And this is why the Golden Fleece is my number 1 haunt.